Hi and welcome to the first Excel course for a new beginner in Excel. Today I will introduce you to Excel and see what we can do with it. This is the agenda of this presentation. We will talking about filtering, cell reference, SUM-Formlua, IF-Formlula, LOOKUP-Formula and match formula and many other formulas. As we know, data analysis has become increasingly important lately. And because of that, it is becoming more important to get skills in Excel because it's a very important tool when it comes to analyzing the data through making graphs, tables, and so on. The main goal of this intro lecture is to increase the understanding of easily accessible options and to gain knowledge of basic use of Excel and how we can use time efficiency when we work with Excel. Shortcut keys help to provide an easier and quicker method of directing and finishing commands in Microsoft Excel. Mostly we prefer to use the shortcut as it is kind of amazing how much time we can save by not using the mouse clicks. Keyboard shortcuts in Excel are commonly accessed by using the Alt, Control, Shift, Function key and Window key. We really like that Windows give us multiple ways to perform the task in Excel. Let us say we want to save file. Either we can press the key Ctrl S or Shift F11. There are more than 200 shortcuts in Excel, both for Windows and for Mac. Here in both lists, it's Windows Excel functions. And you can find some copy, cut, paste, find, undo, save, go to the next sheet, repeat, find and replace, and you can find more shortcuts in those websites for Windows and for Mac. And this is some bunch of shortcuts in Excel. It's for Windows and I provide you with more shortcuts for Windows and for Mac. Typically there are more than 200 shortcuts in Excel, both for Windows and for Mac. Ribbon keyboard shortcuts. It's ribbon groups, which is a related options on tabs. In the menu up here called ribbon bar. Now you can quickly access functionality with your keyboard. When you hit the Alt key, you see the ribbon where each icon associated with a letter. And for example, to make a copy, we go to another worksheet and to, for example, copy United States. So hit the Alt key and Home, Seal key and Conform C. Go to the side with the arrow to the right and Alt, Home, V and with P to conform, paste. And here we copied United States without using the mouse clicks. We have another way to get shortcuts. And instead of using the keyboard layouts, we have a ribbon keyboard shortcuts. And it's a ribbon groups, which is a related option on tab. I will show you what it is. I come here. And in the tab, in this menu up here, called a ribbon bar. Now you can quickly access functionality with your keyboard. When you hit the Alt key, you see ribbon. And this is ribbon. Those small letters. And you can use it like this. If we use the keyboard layout, for example, we want to copy United States. So you hit Alt, H and we go to C and move to the side and Alt H V, also P. And here we go, we have copied the United States without using the mouse. Filter. The Excel filter function filters a range of data based on supplied criteria and extracts matching records. Just like if you filter from the assignment, digital exams, or based on location, items, types, gender, age, whatever. And I'll show you how to filter and where do you find this function. So I have here an unfiltered table. So the first alternative, you come here and you select the row and you can press Control Alt and L key, or you can do it by come to home page and sort filter under editing group in this ribbon, filter, or you can do it by go to data and filter. So it's many way or three way to do filter. And what is help us with this filter? Help us, for example, if we need to see how many citizenship from United States. We click here and remove select all and find after or letting after United States and press OK. So you have all those cells from United States, and if you, or I can show you the other way, if you press the first cell and press Alt, Control and peel down, so you select the whole data here, and you can see its count 29. I'll zoom it to you, so you can see 29. Or maybe if you want to select Germany, only Germany, and do it like this, and we have 8 from Germany. So also if we need to know how many males are here, so select only male and come to the first cell and Alt Control peel down and select all the male, and we have 74 males compared with how many females here? Only 5 females. We can do the same table by using the pivot table, but I will talk about it in the next lecture. We go back. In this table, we, for example, want to know the average of a male net worth. So we go to male, or we have to already male because we did it. So come to net worth, select the first cell and Alt Control peel down, and we have the average of a net worth of the male, and it is 25.5. Cell reference. A cell reference refers to a cell or range of cells on a worksheet and can be used in formula, so Excel can find the values or data that you want formula to calculate. There is 2 types of cell reference, a relative and absolute cell reference. A relative cell reference in Excel is a cell address without the dollar sign in the row and column coordinates. When a formula with a relative cell reference is copied to another cell, the reference changes based on a relative position of rows and columns. An absolute cell reference is a cell reference that states lock on specific cell or cell range, even if the formula is copied. For example, if we create a formula that uses tax rate in cell, for example, A1, we want to make an absolute reference to ensure that any copy in this formula are still looking at the same tax rate. Generally, the way to do this is typing a dollar sign before the column letter and row number. But there is a faster way. Just press F4 key at the top of the keyboard. This will automatically add a both dollar sign with single keystroke. The F4 key states for repeat the last action multiple times. If you hit the F4 key only once, you will get two dollar sign, one before the column letter and the second before the row number, and then the column and the row do not change when copied. If you hit the F4 key for the second time, you will get a dollar sign state between the column letter and the row number, and the row do not change when copied. If you hit the F4 key for the third time, you will get the dollar sign before both of column letter and row number, and then the column does not change when copied. I am going to show you a quick shortcut for creating absolute reference, and you can use this when you are typing or editing formula. When you are typing your formula, after you type a cell reference, press F4 key. Excel automatically makes all the cell reference absolute. By continuing to press F4 key, Excel will cycle through all the absolute reference possibility. So in this example, I will bring together these cards signs with these columns. So start with equal sign. Is very important to start with equal sign when you are typing a formula. So take this one and hit F4 key for 2 times to prevent row from changing, and take the and sign and hit this cell and press F4 key for 3 times to keep column from changing, and enter. So now all cell reference or range is selected in formula. F4 cycle through all the various combination of absolute and relative reference. So when you are done typing the formula, so double click the fill handle, this one, to copy this formula to the empty cells. So we can see here all the empty cells are filled. And if you drag this fill handle to the right, so fill the table with both card signs and numbers. But there is another way to fill this table. So if we delete and start again and take the spot sign, okay, sometimes it doesn't work, so we do it by clicking the mouse, hit F4 key for 2 times, and take the and sign and hit F4 key for 3 times, and then you get it. So you will mark the cell or all the cells, and you can use the keyboard layout and press Ctrl R key and then Ctrl D, and here we go, all the cells are filled. And if you take a look at the formula bar, you can see, for example, the D6 reference stays the same as the C4, and it's like that in all copied formulas, which is exactly what we want. We can do another example of cell reference. I made one here and I hide it, so I'll select this column to this column and press right click and unhide. So in this example, instead of have those card signs, so I will have numbers. So I will multiplicate those numbers. So equal sign, this cell, and hit F4 key for 2 times, and multiplicate with this cell and hit the F4 key for 3 times and press enter. So either you can mark all those cells and hit Control R and Control D, or you can do the other way, and it is by dragging the handle fill to the right and then down. And you can see 2 multiplicate 2 is 4, 3 multiplicate 3 is 9, and so on. Function in Excel. A function is a predefined formula that performs calculations using specific values in particular order. Excel includes many common functions that can be used to quickly find the sum, average, count, maximum value, and minimum value for a range of cells. In order to use functions correctly, you will need to understand the different parts of a function and how to create arguments to calculate values and cell reference. So we can take an example. If we need to sum a column or a row of numbers, let Excel do the math for you by easy, quickly steps. So we go to Excel. I made an example here and hide it, just like I did with the column. So I come here, Alt Shift and down or peel down, and then press right click and unhide. To hide it again, for example, from row 26 to 30. So I go to the row 26, Alt Shift, peel down to 30, and Control 9, or right click, hide. To undo this move, Control Z. So we want to find the sum of those fruits for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So the way to do it is press here equal sign and type sum and tap and mark all the cells that you want to sum and close it and press F4 enter, sorry, and then come to the fill handle and drag it out or double click. So now this total, because it was already those cells filled, so therefore come with 29. So if we take it away, so returns to 0. To find the sum of this column, I'll equal sign and sum. Go up by using a keyboard layout and tap Alt and peel down and close the formula and press enter, and here we go, we have the sum. We can take another example of using function, or how to use function. For example, we will find the average of total. So come here and equal sign, average, and tap, and what's the number to find? We will select all those cells and close the formula, and you can find it's 4.1. There's another way to find it, just like I said, by selecting all the cells you want to find average of, and you can see down here it's the same average of 4.14, and count 7 cells, and the sum of it is 29, just like we found here. So now we will try to find the standard deviation. So by pressing equal sign, STD, and there's two types of STD or standard deviation, for population or for samples. So we have just a bunch of symbols of population, so we will go for S. If we have a huge data and all data available, so we will go for population. So we will go now for STD EVS. Press tab and select the cells you want to find the standard deviation for, and close formula and press enter, and you find the standard deviation is 3.4. If we take the standard deviation P, so go STD, tab, and select the cells and close it and enter. The difference is not so huge, 3 point almost 2. So because we don't have access to all information, we have only for this week, and therefore we went for standard deviation sample. So as now we went through simple Excel formulas, it's time to look for more advanced formulas. Excel functions must be written with a special syntax or structure, and typical function can be like this one, where arguments in the function can be cell reference, constant value, or other function, and comma or semicolon is used to separate between the arguments, and array or range are indicated by between start and end cell. For example, be 11 or be 20 to be 30. So we will go to more advanced formula as if statement. The if function is one of the most popular functions in Excel, and it allows you to make a logical comparison between a value and what you expect. So an if statement can have two results. The first result if your compression is true, and the second if your compression is false. And it's look like this one. So when we do if statement, it's very important to make sure to use quotes if you are using text in formula. For example, if a statement b4 greater than 200, and to use a quit sign over 200, or if it falls under 200. But here you can decide what you want to write, yes or no, over, under. It's up to you. So let's take an example. So come here, write equal sign and if, and as we can see here, we have a 4 option of if. This one tests only one condition if it's met, and this one tests 2 or more condition if they are met. And we will go for this one because we only will test for if salary greater than 10,000. So we will select the logical test that we want to test, and it is salary over 10,000, and this is the logical test we want to test, and write if it's greater than 10,000 and comma and quote sign. If value true, we will go for over, or we can go for yes or true. You can decide whatever you like, and comma, quote sign, and we go for under, and close the parenthesis and hit enter, and the condition is met. So we go here and double click on hand fill. So we have those empty cells are now filled, and we have 5 of 8 cells with over. So we go to the second task, and here we will test for 2 conditions, salary 1 and salary 2. If salary 1 over 9,000 and salary 2 over 12,000. So here we will use 2 formulas. The first one is if, and the second one is and. So we go for if, tab, and and this checks whether all arguments are true. Tab, and the logical test, this one greater than 9,000, and the logical test 2 if salary 2 are greater than 12,000. Close it, and here we have the logical test for if statement. So now we will find if value true. You can decide whatever you would like to write. So quote sign, and we go for true. True, true, and comma, and go for fail, and close. And this didn't met because salary 1 is met the first criteria, but the second salary did not, so therefore we have failed. So come here and double click on the handle fill, and we have 2 of 8 cells met our criterion. We go for the third example, and here we will use if or function, and we will find if salary 1 over 9,000 or salary 2 over 12,000, just like the previous task. So we go for if tab or, and this check whether any of the arguments are true, and checks if all the arguments are true. Tab 14,000 greater than 12,000, and 10,000 or salary 2 are greater than 12,000. This is supposed to be 9,000. And close the parenthesis, and we will write now the value if true and go for comma and quote sign, and we will go for now yes or no. And this is yes. As we can see here in this task 2, we got fail because we wanted 2 arguments to be met, but here only one argument, at least one argument to be met. And fail handle, double click on it, and here we go. We have 5 yes of 8. So now there's another way to use count or if statements, and we can find how many yes or how many no of this cells. Of course, we use it when we have a huge data, but as you can see here is just a bunch of cells, so which you, by seeing it, you can count it. But in case we have a huge data, so we go for equal sign, count if, and we have here 2 options. I will zoom in. Sorry. We have count if and count ifs, and this one counts the number of cells within a range that met the given condition. Means the second counts the number of cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. But since we will have only one condition or one criteria, so we will go for count if. We will select the range we want to test or we want to count, and we will have our criteria whether it's yes or no. We go for yes and close the parenthesis. Okay, I got it because I forgot to type the quotes sign here. So we have 5 yes of 8. We will here try to find salary if it's over 10,000 and find the total of the salary. So here we will use SUM-If. SUM-If, and as you can see here, we got 2 types of SUM-If or SUM-Ifs. The first one as the cell specified by given condition or criteria, means the second one as the cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. So we will go for the first one. So we will select the range we want to test, and it is salary type 2. And comma, our criteria will be, we have to quote here, and quote sign, and will be greater than 10,000, and it's, and select again the sum of range will be the same, and hit the enter, and we have 51,000. The sum of the salary, which is greater than 10,000. We want to find the average of salary 1, which is over 9,000. So we go for equal sign, average FS, and just like the COUNTIF and SUM-IF, we have also two types of average, is average F and average FS, and this find the average for cells specified by given condition or criteria, also one condition or criteria. The second one is for sets of conditions or criteria. So we have only one condition, so we will go for the first one. We will select the range, and it is salary 1, and hit the comma and quote sign, which is greater than 9,000, and end it, and we will select the average range we want to find, and it is 13,000 in average. I think it's wrong. No, it's right. So if we want to check if it's right or not, we will make a filter here by press Control key and Alt key and L, and we'll find here, go to see only over 9,000, 12, 12, 13, 14, and 15. And by select them all, we can find the average here is 13,300. So it's right. We go to here, and as now we took a brief summary of if function or if statement, and how we can mix it with another function like OR function or AND function, and we took a look also in how to count to find average, and how to find if salary over, greater than, or less than. It's time to look into more advanced formula in Excel, and which is like VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP formulas. VLOOKUP function is built-in function in Excel that is categorized as lookup reference function, And this function performs a vertical lookup by searching for a value in the first column of the table and returning the value in the same row in the index number position. And the formula look like this one. Lookup value is the value you want to search in the first column of the table. Table array, it is the table you want to search the value or lookup value from. And the call index is a column number in table from which the matching value must be returned. And sometimes if you start from column B and you select to column F and you want to find in column, for example, C, so you will go for 2 in call index. I will show you later in an example. Range lookup, it's approximate match. If you want exact match, so you go for 0 or false. If you want approximate match, so you go for true, and it is 1. While HLOOKUP function stands for horizontal lookup and can be used to retrieve information from a table by searching a row for the matching date and outputting from the corresponding column. While VLOOKUP search for the value in column, HLOOKUP searches for the value in row. And the structure of both can be a bit different, where when we use HLOOKUP, we include sometimes the match formulas. And here I will show you an example of. For example, here we want to find, we have 3 columns, first name, last name, and salary. We want to find here the salary for Nilsson. His last name is Nilsson. So when we have a huge data that contain of more than 1,000 or 2,000 rows, so we can find it like this way. Is to start with equal sign and VLOOKUP, and we will find the lookup value we desire, and it is the H3, the last name, the lookup value, because it's searched in column, and we will select here the table array, and this is our table. And the call index num, it is 2. Index number stand for which from which column he will find the salary from, and it is from the second one. This is the first one, and this is the second one. And to find exact match, you go for false, right false, or 0, the same, and closes the parenthesis. And oh, sorry, yeah, of course, because not from B3, it will go for C3, and we found the correct answer. So if we want to do it again, for example, find not for Nilsson, we can go for Jakobsen. So we go for equal sign, VLOOKUP, and we go for the lookup value is Jacobson, and select the table array or range of cells, and we write the call index. This is the first one and this is the second one, so we write 2 and exact match for 0 or 0 for exact match, and we found 9,000, and this is Jacobson, and he earned in salary 9,000. We can find the salary in another way by instead of using the VLOOKUP formula, we can use a mix of index and match formulas, and it goes like this: equal sign, index, and we will select the range we want to find the salary from, and it is this D column, and comma, match, and we will find the lookup value, and it is first name for Johan and the last name of Johan, and we go for comma, and we will select the lookup array, and it's the B column and C column, comma, exact match, parenthesis, parenthesis, and here Johan Andersen earned 12,000 in salary, and it is here. While we go for the third task, and here we will find the age of Jacobson, and we will find through his last name, and it goes like this: just look up the value and select the table array, and it is from C to the column we want to find age from. Oh, sorry, I forgot to put the comma. So the lookup value is the last name of Jacobson, and the table array is from his last name. We don't need to include the first column because we don't need, or we don't require to find his first name here, only his age. So we can select from the column that include his last name and go for the column we require his age from, and we put a comma and how many column number is 1 and 2 and 3. So 3 exact match and parenthesis, and this is correct. His age is 34. We can take another example to find salary by using a mix of formulas for HLOOKUP and match formulas instead of using VLOOKUP. So we go to the salary and hit the equal sign, so HLOOKUP, and we will find the lookup value, and it is salary, and we select the table array for salary, and we go for match to match Anna's last name with her salary. So match will be the lookup value, her first name, and the table array will be her first name's table, and we go for 0 exact match and close the parenthesis for match formulas, and comma 0 for exact match for HLOOKUP formula, and hit enter, and we find her earn or she earned 9,000 in salary. Anna Jakobsen. So this is a mix of HLOOKUP and VLOOKUP formula. We can find what we're looking for or desired solution by using those formulas. We can now find also for example, max of the salary by hitting equal sign max and select the table, and max is 15,000. For minimum salary, min, and select and close it and enter, and we can see here the max is 15,000 go for Hanna, and 8,000 go for Dal. So yes, goal seek is another feature Excel provides. Is a method of solving for a desired output by changing an assumption that drives it. The function is extremely useful for performing sensitivity analysis in financial modeling. Technically, goal-seek is a process of calculating a value by performing what-if analysis on a given set of values. For our purposes, Excel's goal-seek feature lets you adjust a value used in a formula to achieve a specific goal, or put it another way, goal-seek determines input values needed to achieve a specific goal. So let us take an example. If a formula for revenue is equal to the number of units sold multiplied by the selling price, goal-seek can determine how many units have to be sold to reach 2 million of revenue if the selling price is known. Let us take an example and see how the goal-seek works. If we need to determine the yes percents of votes up to 40 or 50 or 60, so we go to data and what if analysis. We get 3 options. We go to goal-seek, and in this cell we will select the cell that we want to be changed, and we want it to go up to, for example, 40%, and the other cell that will be changed to get to up to 40% is this, is this one, and press OK. So it's calculate for us and change data. So we need to have 4,519 votes to be able to get 40%. And if we can, so we can see here how many votes we need to get 40% of votes. Another example to see how goal-seek works. If you have a loan amount in 3 millions and you have payment amount for 60,000, and you want to reduce this amount to 40,000, so we can use goal-seek to reduce it. So we'll select the cell you want to change and press 40,000, and by changing a cell we can go for this one, for example. Hit enter and OK, and it's calculating the data for us. So it's 1.31% to get the amount reduced from 60,000 to 40,000. Excel provides another feature called solver, and you can use it instead of GoSeek, and you can find it here, data and solver. And sometimes you have to activate it, and you go to file and option and go to add-in, and you can find it here, solver add-in, and you press go, and you select the solver add-in and go. But I don't need to do this now because I already did it. I will talk more about solver in our next lecture. So this is our last slide for today. Thank you very much for your time. I hope this lecture was useful for new beginner, and I advise you to use some time for get knowing Excel. Thank you very much, and see you next time.